Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, Stoicism.
Yep.
You've referenced Stoicism multiple times, not getting an emotional, thinking rational.
Yep.
This was a book that you've subscribed to for years. What is it about Stoicism and not getting caught up in emotions and even triggering emotions that resonates with you?
Well, emotions are feedback. The idea that men don't feel emotions is incorrect. We feel emotions. I would actually argue we feel emotions with certain emotions stronger than women. I would argue that we feel heartbreak stronger than women. I would argue we feel anger like a woman could never understand. I would argue we are extremely emotional. Rage, pure rage. But it's feedback. So when you get the feedback, it's all about how you internalize it and how you process it, right? It's having, Stoicism's not feeling emotions. It's feeling the emotion and going, okay, why is this happening? How much does this really matter? What's the most intelligent move on the chessboard? I'm not even that good at chess, right? My father was a grandmaster. I'm like 1800 euro. I'm okay. I was a child chess prodigy, but I stopped playing chess professionally when I was like 8. So I'm as good now as I was. In fact, I'm worse now than when I was 8. Because I've never taken any lessons or anything properly since. My mother and father broke up. We moved to England. My dad stayed in America. Lost my chess coach, and England didn't have a chess infrastructure. America had a chess infrastructure in the lower income schools. My dad used to go to the ghetto schools because he was black. Go to the black schools and teach them how to play chess. So we had a big infrastructure.
You peaked at 8.
I peaked at 8, yeah. But chess is a fantastic game because in the game of chess, there's no luck. If you lose, no matter how well you play, if you lose, at some point you made a mistake. Even if it's the most minor mistake, you made a mistake. So you learn to understand that no matter what happens to you, if you lose a scenario, you made a mistake. Maybe it's a tiny one, maybe it was 2 years ago, whatever, but you made a mistake. And you learn absolute and utter accountability for yourself. That mentality is extremely powerful to apply to all things in life. The position I'm in now as the most hated man in the world, although I agree and I truly believe it's unfair, I still take complete responsibility for it. I'm not going to sit here and say, I'm telling you why it happened when I talk about TikTok and YouTube shorts, but I'm not going to blame them. Absolutely, they're a company making money and they're monetizing the best they can. Fantastic. All of this is my fault. But the Bugatti on my drive is my fault. And the yacht is my fault. The private jet's my fault. So it's all my fault. So I take the good with the bad. I take all responsibility for absolutely everything, including if a woman leaves me, if a woman stays, if I end up heartbroken, if I end up filled with rage, I take responsibility for that. If something happens to me that makes me enraged, I will take responsibility. Why has this happened to me? Why do I feel this way? How did I end up in this position? Is this healthy in this scenario? And sometimes it is. I've had scenarios in my life where I was prepared to die to protect somebody else, and I was enraged, and it was healthy. I've also had times where I'm in a room by myself, enraged, sitting there going, this is no good for anybody. I need to just calm the fuck down. So emotions are feedback, but stoicism is the ability to process it. And that's what you need to learn as a man. You're never going to be able to turn them off. You're going to feel them. You have to learn how to process them and turn them into a positive. It's energy. It's unlimited energy. I say this all the time. I say that the biggest periods of transformation in my life is when everything was going wrong. When my life was going good, I'm not a hedonistic person. I don't do drugs. I don't gamble. I don't do prostitutes. I don't do anything that hedonistic. But I'll certainly go on the yacht with a bunch of women I know and chill and have some vodkas. When life's smooth, then it's semi-hedonistic, pretty relaxed. But when I make my biggest progress, when I really change who I am and change the world, that's when everything's fucked. When things go wrong, or I'm feeling things I don't want to feel, or bad things are happening, that's when I'm like, okay, I currently cannot sleep. I've completed the day's tasks. I've tried to go to bed. I can't sleep. More shit has to be done. That's when the amazing things happen in my life. When I was heartbroken, when I was whatever, everyone's been heartbroken. I can't remember a specific example. I hit the gym harder, right? If something goes wrong with your payment processor, that's when you get fucking inventive. That's business, right? That's when you get inventive. So all the bad things that happen to you as a man, if you're stoic, you get to take unlimited energy. Heartbreak is unlimited energy. So is depression. So is rage. So is sadness. All these negative emotions they tell you to collapse behind. It's like, people talk like, Bruce Lee says, be like water. And people see that as be fluid and just go with the flow. I disagree. If you're like water, you're necessary for life. You are scary when you're enraged. You're powerful. You're beautiful when you're calm. You're so many things when you're like water, right? So if I'm enraged, it's like water behind a dam. You just got to put the dam in place. And you got to get the turbo, the hydroelectrics put in. Don't tsunami your life. Put the energy somewhere.
I'm about to introduce you to a concept that has served me extremely well throughout my life, and it's a concept that I adopted from Stoicism. And if you adopt this mindset fully, you will not only be more resilient to the chaos of life, but the chaos will actually make you stronger, to the point where you might actually prefer a little bit of chaos so that you can get stronger. All right, here's the secret. It's so simple, it's almost insulting. The mindset is radical acceptance. Now let's backtrack a bit. Let's go back to why you might have been frustrated about that guy saying fuck you or being stuck in traffic. I think it's because there is a fundamental thing going on here. You have a fundamental rejection of reality as it is. You lived your life with a sort of expectation of how reality actually is or should be, and you've been living in this reality and something came along and shit all over it. And that thing that shit all over it is actual reality. And that's sort of the key. Life is shitty. It produces shit. But the key is to be fully aware of the spectrum of shit that life can produce. All the way from just a little bit poopy to like the ultimate mega dump, which is probably something like you and everyone you know and love dying and then the world ending or something like that. But actually the mega dump would be everyone you know and love dies and the world dies, but you're still somehow alive to watch it all happen, and then you die. Meditating on and fully embracing and accepting life as it is, you know, your own mortality, the fact that you're going to die one day, the fact that everyone you know and love is going to die one day. This sounds super depressing for me to say, and it sounds super depressing to think about, and you might think, you know, this is a bit of a mood killer. I don't really want to watch this video, but this is what the ancient Stoic philosophers did, like Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Epictetus, and it actually helped keep them grounded, focused on the bigger picture, so that they could live a more fulfilling life in the present moment. You know, the point of all this isn't to just spend all of your days thinking about what your tombstone will look like in 50 years, 30 years, tomorrow, but to focus on the things that are truly important, the things that are eternal, not the frivolous things that will fade away, the fact that you dented your car, the fact that you said something embarrassing to your crush, but to think about your soul, to think about the virtues you are fostering, the legacy that you are leaving, and the effect that you have on the people around you and the world that you're a part of. Certain things in life seem tragic, but also inevitable. We cannot avoid tragedy. We cannot avoid hardship. It is woven into the fabric of our reality. And anytime we are completely floored by it, it's often because we haven't considered it. We didn't consider that it was even a possibility. So when it happens, we don't know what to do with that information. But if we live our life in acceptance of life as it is, the things that we can't control and the things that we can, then it'll stop feeling like we're constantly drowning in the waves of life splashing on the shore. We'll become a surfer.